Hello, my name is Jules Reinhardt, and this is my lifespan timeline. Let me make sure that I am recording. This is like my fifth time I've done this. So, this is my introductory slide. It is mainly photos of my family. I am a huge family person. I love being with my family, I'm always with them. That's why been the hardest part about COVID is not being able to see them. So, in this first photo, I have a picture of my sister, my cousins, and my grandpa. And then a photo of me and my dad before I went to prom. A photo of me and my sisters, my mom for my sister's prom, my family at a wedding. And then this is a photo of my sisters and our boyfriends at Thanksgiving last year when we could actually all be together. A little bit about me, I am 23 years old and I'm going to Saginaw for occupational therapy. I currently am an ABA technician and I work with children with autism. I'm hoping in the future I can continue working with children with autism and do that with OT. I love my job. I love working with my kiddos. They definitely changed my life. They're awesome. So for my primitive infant reflexes, I chose rooting and sucking. So rooting or search reflex is turning the head and opening the mouth in the direction of stroking. So the infant will have a stroke on the cheek and it will turn its head while opening its mouth. This reflex is used to help the baby to seek food or look for food. This lasts up to about 4 months. In this photo, I'm 2 months old. As you can see, I am turning my head, looking for a bottle. And I have another photo of my mom bringing the bottle, but it's a little blurry, so it's hard for me to post. The next I have is the sucking reflex, which is a jaw movement or pressure change. It's one of the most primitive reflexes to take in food. This lasts about 4 months as well. And in these photos, I am 1 month old. In this first photo, I'm sucking on my fingers. And in this next one, I am sucking on a bottle. So for locomotor reflexes, I chose the stepping reflex. So it's when the child's feet are lifted off the floor in a standing position. So someone is holding the child, and the child's feet can go up and down in that stepping motion. It usually disappears at 6 months. So in this, I'm in the little buggy doing the same thing as if someone was holding me, feet stepping. In these photos, I am 4.5 months old. Next are the voluntary movements. I chose sitting up, rolling, and walking with assistance. So sitting up independently is when the body is horizontal, the head is above the body. Typically, a child will sit up around 6 months. I was a little ahead of the game, and in this photo, I'm 5 months old, sitting without assistance. Next is rolling, which happens around 6 months. That's when the body rolls in a direction. I tried rolling when I was 4 months old, but I wasn't successful until about 5.5/6 months old. Next is walking with assistance. So same thing kind of as that stepping, you have someone holding you and walking with you. So this typically happens around 8 months, you're able to do this. In this photo, I am 7.5 months old. So for my childhood foundation skills, I chose throwing, running, and kicking, which will be on the next slide. So for throwing, I have never been good at throwing. So in this, I kind of stated how I start at the mature stage and I go to the elementary stage. So by what I mean by that is I start out with following the guidelines for a good overhand throw. So, bringing the arm all the way back, following through, taking that step. I unfortunately have shoulder problems. So I'll start it with that perfect throw. And the more I throw, my shoulders start bothering me. So maybe I won't go back as far, I won't take the step, or I just want to stop throwing because it'll hurt my shoulder. So these are some pictures of me throwing duck food into the pond. Another one is me and my cousin were throwing a ball. It's a little blurry. Next is running. And this is a mature stage. I am a great runner, or so I like to think. So it's when the arms move opposite to legs. There's a period where both feet are off the ground, like you can see in this photo. Arms up, taking a step. So you're landing on heel or toe, and your non-supportive leg is bent 90 degrees. So that's kind of more of an action shot where my leg is just about to come up that 90 degrees. So kicking. So I was a soccer player. I played soccer my whole life. So in these first couple pictures, was when I first started playing travel soccer, and I was not very good. I wasn't a strong kicker. Um, I didn't take the necessary steps. I would stop and then try to kick the ball. As I got older, I got better. So this is my mature stage. It's a rapid approach to the ball, long strides prior to ball contact. Your non-dominant foot is placed slightly behind the ball, and you kick the ball with instep with dominant foot. So as I got older and with practice, I got better. My childhood skill, I chose riding a bike. So I got my first bike when I was 4 years old, which actually in these photos is my fourth birthday. So that is my first bike I've ever had. So the steps for riding a bike. First, you gotta get on the bike and balance while you're on that bike, push off, and pedal the bike. So at first, it was a block practice. First, I had to get comfortable getting on that bike and gaining balance. I practiced this step over and over. So when I first got a bike, yes, I had training wheels, but I do not have balance. So my dad was out there. He kept having me get on the bike and just sit on there and keep practicing that until I was comfortable to finally make that push off and stop or start riding the bike. So then I did a random practice, which is balancing, pushing off, and pedaling the bike, which is a multiple skill practice. So I was putting all those little steps together and doing it as a random practice. So here is my timeline that I have planned for myself. So for 20s to 30s, I want to finish school, find a job that I like, which I already have something in mind I want to do. I want to make sure I am putting myself and my health first, not only with my physical health, but my mental health. I'm hoping at this time to start a family with my current boyfriend, getting married first, starting a family, and just kind of taking things slow, enjoying my career. Next, I have my 40s to 50s. I want to keep up with my physical fitness, making sure I have a healthy lifestyle due to my heart condition. So I do have a heart condition. I have SVT. I had surgery in October. So I'm doing much better, but I just want to make sure I'm staying healthy so I can be at the best possible health to continue my life. 60s, 70s, I plan on retiring from work. I plan on going on walks, lots and lots of walks to keep my mind intact, as well as getting some exercise that is not too intense on my body. So, getting stimulus from being outside, the birds, the wind, the trees. I also want to take on a hobby just so I have something that I can do. And so again, for that mental health, so I don't go crazy. For my 80s to 90s, I'm going to continue to go on walks. I want to have a daily routine. So I want to have something like every day I get up, I do this. I think it's so important when you get older to have a routine, to go through things. So again, so you keep your mind intact so you don't go crazy. Because at 80s, 90s, I don't know if I'll be leaving the house that much. Like I said, I do have a health condition. So I want to make sure that if I can't leave the house, I don't go crazy. So I want to keep up doing a hobby. I would love to take up knitting. I used to knit. I fell out of knitting, but I just want to keep something and do something that can keep me going. So the 93 was actually the age I got in the game, which I was floored by. Like I said, I have a family history of heart condition. My dad had a heart attack very young. My grandpa had a heart attack. They both had heart surgery. At 22 years old, because my surgery was last October, had that heart surgery. So very young to have SVT. I'm glad I figured out what it was. I've had it since I was 9. They could never figure it out. Everyone thought I was crazy because it doesn't show up. They had to catch it when I was having one of my episodes. To kind of explain what it would be is I could be sitting right here talking to my laptop and my heart rate would go from normal to about 200 and stay in that rotation for hours until it decided to stop. So I was really surprised when I got 93 based on my family conditions. So at this point, if I do make it to 93, I just want to enjoy the rest of my time that I have left. Enjoy life, take things easy, not stress out. And maybe I don't know if I can go on walks, but just stay healthy. So my conclusion. So infancy, I hit my milestones in a timely manner. I was sitting up, crawling, everything when I was supposed to. I wasn't behind. Childhood, I continue those movements that I learned from infancy, and the movements became more natural. Adulthood, I want to keep up with my healthy lifestyle choices I've made throughout my life. I've always been fairly healthy, and I just want to keep up with that based on the conditions that I have. And I'm hoping that if I do that, it will lead me to a long, healthy life and I can live until 93. Thank you so much for enjoying my presentation. Sorry if I messed up a little bit. Don't lie. This is like my 100th time recording this. I'm really bad at technology and I'm a little awkward. So thank you for getting through this with me.